Another incident of VVIP high-handedness from Gonda in UP. A boy was hit by a cabinet minister's cavalcade and he died on the spot. The incident enraged the locals who started sloganeering against the minister. What is even more shocking is that the police was busy blocking the roads to control mob fury but did not stop the convoy. Amir Haq is with us for more information. Amir, this is not just a case of VVIP high-handedness. I would say this is shocking brutality. An 8-year-old was left to die on the road as the cavalcade just passed by, killing him, running him over.
Well, absolutely, Afrida. This is absolutely shameful because this happens to be a cabinet minister of the UP government, Om Prakash Rajbhar, who was returning from Gonda after a tour towards state capital Lucknow. When on the way, one of the vehicles involved in his convoy knocked off this 8-year-old boy who was playing on the side of the road. And startled by the hooters sound, he actually came towards the road and was hit by one of the vehicles there. But none of the vehicles in the convoy actually stopped. They went ahead, and later on, in fact, the locals blocked the road and demanded that the minister be brought back to see to the kind of tragic accident that one of the vehicles involved in his convoy has caused. But much later, the police swung into action and kind of registered a case against an unknown vehicle. But so far, the minister really hasn't responded. He didn't come back. It was only the Chief Minister's office which has finally announced a compensation of
so there is,
5 lakhs.
yes, that compensation has been announced, but how does that, change anything at all? Because there is criminality at various levels. First, it's a hit-and-run case by none other than a cabinet minister in UP. And secondly, the police complicity, it did nothing to stop the convoy. And the message that is going out now is there is some sort of an attempt to always protect the accused. Is this Yogi's UP now?
Absolutely, Afrita. Questions will be raised, fingers will be pointed on this kind of a behavior that a cabinet minister from UP BJP government has shown. And this minister, even after over 15 hours of this incident having happened, hasn't really spoken to the victim's family, hasn't really, tried to pacify them. And the police's attitude from the beginning has been to kind of brush the entire thing under the carpet, not to create a controversy, not to register a case. If the local villagers there hadn't, created a road blockade there on the highway, sitting there in protest with the body of this 8-year-old victim, then perhaps the police wouldn't even have cared to register an FIR against this unknown vehicle. And in fact, that vehicle wasn't unknown. It was part of the cavalcade of the cabinet minister, and it could easily have been identified.
Absolutely.
This is something that will need to be curbed by the UP government because earlier, successive governments in UP, be it the BSP or the SP, have remained in news for all the wrong reasons of their ministers, behaving not exactly like ministers, not exactly like the position they are in, and the people being at the receiving end. And that's what we see in this case as well, because this was a simple road accident. Once the minister was informed, he could have actually stopped or turned back to meet the victim's family. Or at the first instance, in fact, he should have rushed the victim to the hospital. Perhaps the victim could have been saved. If medical help was coming, could have actually reached him in time. Which is why
it's a case of shocking brutality, because the 8-year-old being left to die, no medical services, emergency services being offered to him by the convoy that ran over this innocent child. Many thanks, Amir, for joining us with your inputs.